Hello, welcome back, One Piece fans. Today we're diving into the actions or the events of episode 1125, episode 1125. And of course, it's an absolute powerhouse of an episode that delivers an intensity in terms of emotional weight and the whole jaw dropping animation we have to talk about. And I think if you thought Egghead Island was chaotic before, I think this episode cranks up the volume a bit. Now the emotional level, the emotional state is mostly the whole clash of titans. That's the title of the episode. A clash of titans, Kizaru versus Sentomaru. And of course, I am disappointed that the whole battle was fast, ended fast. Of course, the whole battle ending fast is such in a way to show how strong Admiral Kizaru is, and I feel like with the whole light beam thing he was doing, traveling through light, like that whole thing that we had the whole throughout the whole saga, the whole events of Egghead, like no one can penetrate this defense. This defense is the best in the world, and then we come to find out that Kizaru is light itself, bro. He can enter through that defensive barrier because it's made of light and he's light itself, or he embodies light. So that was a beautiful touch in my opinion. But before we dive into those actions, and let's look at where the battle begins. What's with Kizaru's relentless dude is like the way he dealt with Sentomaru was fast, quick, and efficient, and it had an emotional weight on him. When you think about the fact that he found that kid with Vegapunk, and the kid just called him uncle from the get go, and there's that flashback. He's like, "You calling me uncle, kid? That makes me old and shit like that." That was dope in my opinion. That little flashback was nice, and I'm still disappointed at the fact that the whole battle ended faster than it should have, in my opinion. Of course, I would have liked it for them to fight a little longer. It's that like that student master type of battle we had a while back with Garp and what's that guy with the ice? With the ice, sometimes I forget people's names, and then I see them, and I'm like, it's him, right? Anyway, let's move on from that before I embarrass myself. Anyway, further. Okay, the episode kicks off with Admiral Kizaru making his move on to Egghead Island, and let's say he's not holding back, like I already mentioned. He's like, relentless fighting. And of course, I have an issue. Of course, I'm all over the place right now. I have an issue with how um, the pacifista I easily like control. Like anyone who has that little gizmo can just tell you what to do, bro. What the fuck? But whatever. It's a topic for another day. Now, the world government fleet is massive, and the whole and you know why they're there. They're there to drop that infamous Buster Call on Egghead Island and destroy everything the Vegapunks have built in a way. And because, Vegapunk has been studying that Void Sentry and no one wants anyone to know about it and stuff like that. So, the sheer scale of Buster Call is epic, is massive. We know this. We know what happened to where Robin's from. We know all about that, and we don't have to pretend we don't know what's going down and what not. Now, the thing is, if you notice and realize that the Straw Hats are in the midst of fighting an Admiral Kizaru in there. Now, bear in mind a flashback. A while back in the day, if you don't remember, back in the Buster Call happened in Enies Lobby, and the sheer destruction that shit was epic. We all know that. We don't have to talk more about that. It's like cannon fire raining down on you. Like there's no escape really. And of course, the straw hats are scrambling right now, finding a way, trying to reposition the straw hat ship and all that. And I'm spoiling. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But hopefully, I'm not doing it into way much detail. Now, before we talk about the whole Straw Hats versus Kizaru. He's on the island now. He's gonna fight with them. He just dealt with Sentomaru real quick. Now he's up there now at the Punk Records building or whatever, and he's finna fight. He's finna fight. Now we have to remember this great callback. Back in Subroading, dire situation. Straw Hats, bunch of rookies. They meet the legendary Kizaru, and he flexes hard on these, bro. He's just like aura farming on them. He being the dog shit on them. Now, granted, it's been years, bro. 2 years, according to them. For us, it's been a fucking long time. But it's been 2 years to them, and the Straw Hats have developed. And bear in mind, Luffy's not a rookie. He's a Yonko now. He's a big dog. He's him now. He's the guy. He's that guy. And granted, it's going to be epic fight. We have to be acknowledge that fact. It's going to be interesting. And and I have to say, like I said, the brutal fight between Sentomaru and Kizaru, it's sad. Like student versus master. I already mentioned that, and the animation on that is brilliant. We already talked about that. Like it really gives you a sense of purpose, a sense of an idea what kind of person this Kizaru Admiral is like. So it's gonna be interesting how he fights Luffy now. Now, because the final scene, Luffy just does an incredible flashy kick on my man, and the lighting is like, he's like he kicked the dog shit out of him. The light on his back reflecting on Kizaru, like he kicked light out of him. And I'm like, wow, bro, Luffy is him, bro. So this is great. When you talk about the king of callbacks, you talk about Oda, bro. He bringing back stuff we forgot about. He's like, you remember when I did that? Yes, I'm doing it again, and this time I'm putting more emphasis, more fun, more great anime, more great storytelling, because it's what Yoda does, the king of storytelling. So yeah, so I think this is gonna be the final clash of Egghead, in my opinion, like the final big battle. I could be wrong, you know, I could be wrong, but from my opinion, right now as it stands, it's gonna be a big fight. I don't know how many episodes it's gonna engulf. Who knows? But if it's 1, 2, 3 episodes, not good. But I hope it takes a lot of episodes. Bear in mind, Kaido's fight, he was the final boss. So in Wano, so that took a while. I'm not necessarily saying that Kizaru is the final boss of Egghead, but it wouldn't be bad if it was him. But it wouldn't be great, especially when you look at the high stakes we had in Wano versus Kaido, and we're here now. Egghead is coming to an end any day now. But the question will be who's going to be the final boss. It will be Kahun. If it's Kizaru, yeesh, it's gonna be fast. The way he's like lightning fast. He's the Flash of One Piece, basically. So it's gonna be interesting on that end. And of course, we have to talk about the whole episode as a whole before we start spoiling shit. The whole episode as a whole, for me, it delivers on all fronts. It's got action, it's got stakes, it's got an emotional weight, especially with that whole Kizaru and Sentomaru type of battles we going through. And we've got that whole CPO almost trying to assassinate Vegapunk. That little bit there, nice. So you've been waiting, chilling, so you can sabotage us in the last minute after we helped your brother out. So there's a bit of betrayal in that too. But then again, we're never really allies. We just doing means to survive. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So of course, this is shaping up to be an intense battle, an intense storyline. Egghead will be interesting. The question will be, of course, if you're reading the manga, you know what's what. But if you're not reading it, will we have a Buster Call in the end? That's a question I'm asking myself. And what will be the level of destruction? And of course, we also have to know that Bonnie and Kumar are featuring a lot in the beginning, like the opening and the closing of the episode. There's a whole scene of them, like with the credits rolling, we see a lot of them. So it almost feels like Egghead is not really about Vegapunk, it's about Bonnie and Kumar. So that's my opinion on that. And of course, towards the end of the episode, when you get that preview what's gonna happen next, you get to see bits and remnants of what I'm saying. So this is definitely going to be an unforgettable ride. We will definitely enjoy it. Of course, by One Piece standards, this is a 9 out of 5 or 9 out of 10. I don't know how you rated this. This is absolutely brilliant. I love One Piece. I think One Piece is the only show that will always give the high score. So I'm giving it a 9.5. Whoa, I know that's huge. I know, like I said, I would never give a 9 or a 10, but I'm giving this a 9 and a 5, brother. I don't know if it's the excitement that One Piece has been gone for a while, and since it's back, we've had like 3 episodes. I don't know, but granted, amazing stuff. I've loved it. Now, the question is for you, my audience, what do you think of the episode? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think the clash of Luffy and Kizaru is gonna be dope? Based on the snippet we saw, it gave me chills. I was like, oh no! Brilliant stuff. That's just me. And what about Sentomaru? Real MVP. Like, he started off being offered a job as a bodyguard to Vegapunk, becoming a member of the government, and the government turning on him does not necessarily mean his duty should be forgotten. His job initially was being the bodyguard of Vegapunk, and he handed that duty to Luffy. If you remember correctly, he made Luffy promise him that he would look after Vegapunk and he would get him off the island. So because of that, he's protecting the Straw Hats and Vegapunk. Bear in mind, this is a guy who's doing his final duty as a bodyguard. Now, granted, the man he is fighting up against, Kizaru, is a man who basically mentored his fighting style in a way. Don't get me wrong, Vegapunk is not teaching you how to fight. So Kizaru definitely taught this dude how to fight, enhanced his sumo wrestling type of vibe. So with that, and we also got that flashback of how he met them and all that. So this was an emotional episode in itself. Very emotional, in my opinion. Especially that scene. It's sad. Leave it to One Piece to make you drop a tear, bro. Really, really sad stuff for me. Of course, if we look at the Straw Hats, not all of them got a moment in the sun, really. Jinbei is in the scenes, but he's not speaking. Robin barely made an appearance on this episode. So, we got to see a snippet of Zoro fighting, bro. So that's cool. I have to appreciate that. And I told you last review that bubble, sea prism bubble thing that Nami has. Sanji saw it and quickly used it. So I'm telling you, it's going to be impactful moving forward with the Straw Hats. And the question will always be, what's going on with the Straw Hats? Like, granted, is Bonnie going to join the Straw Hats? Is a Vegapunk going to join the Straw Hats? And if for Vegapunk is joining the Straw Hats, what the hell does that mean for Frankie? Bear in mind, Frankie is a shipwreck, and he's technically been the engineer of everything. What does that mean for him? I'm assuming a Vegapunk can build a ship, but they're not a shipwreck. They can design it, but that can't necessarily build it like Frankie. So we'll see. And if we add in Bonnie to the Straw Hats, what's her role? I mean, like, everyone's got a role on the Straw Hats. You got doctor, you got a sniper, you got a vice captain, a fighter, a defender in Zoro. You got a chef in Sans. You got an archaeologist in Robin. You got a navigator. You got a what the hell does you got a fishman, a former emperor in Jinbei. You got a musician, a swordman in Brook. So everybody's doing something. What would Bonnie be presenting to the day? Bear in mind, Of course, there's Vivi. Everyone's talking about she's an honorary member. I don't know. Who knows? It's a different situation where that's going to take us. But I don't know why I'm even diving into that realm at this current moment. We should be talking about the events of this episode. Granted, Luffy, paying homage to a callback to Sabi. Already talking about I'm stronger than I was back then. He's that guy. We get that. We know what Kizaru did to the Straw Hats. You can even see the fear when they notice he's here. They know, oh my God, this guy is him. But they're them now. And they're a part of a Yonko, man. They rolling with a Yonko now. They stronger than they've ever been, brother. Ooh, I just realized something. There's a possibility there is no audio in this whole damn thing. Oh my God. Bro, the fuck? Just in case I'm gonna now that was entertaining. Please let us hang out yet another time. Remember to like and subscribe.